Hello Airsoft friends, and welcome to this video today, where today we're going to be talking about a topic which doesn't really get a lot of attention. I don't really feel like I've seen many videos or many people talking about this topic, but I think it's something which is possibly one of the most important things when it comes to being able to enjoy a day of Airsoft, and that is marshalling. Now, is marshalling important? Do we need marshals? Is marshalling easy or hard? We are going to answer all those questions, but first of all, we're going to answer what exactly is a marshal? Because if you're new to Airsoft, you may not exactly know what a marshal is. Essentially, marshals are the people that you see walking around the sites with high-vis jacket-ons quite commonly, or they'll be wearing, like, I don't know, at Invicta, they all wear red hoodies with Invicta on it, so you know exactly who a marshal is. And it's their job to monitor the gameplay, see if there's any issues, report any issues back to, like, the main marshal, main person running the games, and just kind of, like, look after you, make sure that you're all playing Airsoft safely and enjoying yourselves. A lot of them are first aid trained, or you will have some of them out there being first aid trained, so if there is, you know, an injury that happens, somebody falls over, breaks a leg, pops out an ankle or a knee or something, or maybe somebody decided to run into a tree and has given themselves a cheeky little case of unconsciousness, or you know, whatever that would be, then the marshal can go over, help them out, stop the game if necessary, deal with the situation, and get everything going on. They're also a wealth of knowledge and experience, or should hopefully be a wealth of knowledge and experience anyway. So if you're curious where the spawns are, what the game mode is that you're running, where the objective is, if you've got any questions about pyro, if your riff is okay to use, anything like that, find a marshal and they'll be able to sort out everything for you. Now, with that kind of understanding of what a marshal is kind of out the way, hopefully that's been, you know, good enough for you to know exactly what a marshal is and what they do. We can talk about, are they important? Do we need marshals? And quite frankly, yes. Yes, the answer is yes. I could not imagine what it would be like going to an Airsoft game day one day, and then they just say, right, here's the game mode, go out and play, and then, you know, being left to your own devices. Like, that would just be absolutely insane, really. Like, I can't think of that being a positive experience at all, because, you know, kind of semi-organized or unorganized people we can't be trusted. No, you can't be trusted. One person on their own is usually okay, but as soon as you get a gaggle of people together, that's where things can start going wrong. So 100% we need marshals out in the field, making sure everything is going as it should be, making sure that people are having fun and looking after everyone. Now, I actually have never marshaled. I have not marshaled for Airsoft anyway, but years ago I used to race remote controlled cars, and you know, I don't know if people think that's cool or not cool, but hey, I think it's quite cool. I used to race 10th scale touring cars, 4-wheel drive touring cars, and 2-wheel drive or front-wheel drive Tamiya Minis. And this stuff, it was fun, man. Like, here's a clip from a very old video that I made when I used to race 10th scale touring cars, and you'll actually see at some points where, like, cars will flip, people will run over from the side, flip the car over, and then they can carry on their way. Now, that is a marshal. In the RC racing world kind of thing, when you're doing your race, there's people stood around the outside of the course, of the track, and if a car flips over, it's their job to run across, flip the car, and then carry on their merry way. And that's what I used to do. I used to do that marshalling. You used to finish your race. As soon as the race was over, you'd take your car, put it onto your table, and then you'd head out to one of the marshal spots around the track, and then you'd do that. You would just marshal, look after any cars that flipped over within your kind of area. And I must say, there was definitely good marshals, and there was definitely bad marshals. There were good marshals in that you knew if you crashed in that corner, that they'd be very quick, they were always paying attention, and they would, like, kind of dive out and get your car flipped over, ready to go as soon as possible. And there are also bad marshals who, you knew that if you crashed in their corner, it was kind of like a 50-50 coin flip, whether or not they would, first of all, notice your car was there, second of all, if they would be in a hurry to get your car over, and third of all, if they were actually going to, like, you know, do it well and just kind of get your car, like, back going again. Sometimes I remember I was racing and my car would, like, kind of, like, flip and roll, and they would pick my car up and put it on the wrong side of the track, so then I had to do that whole, like, other length again, and I'd be like, what are you doing? Like, that's wrong. I imagine they were probably watching out the corner of their eye, saw the car flip, and thought that I'd flipped over the barrier. And if I had flipped over the barrier, then fair play. Like, I'd, you know, put me over back on the right side of the track. But, you know, if you're only kind of, like, half paying attention, it's, yeah, it's not an ideal scenario to be in. And that kind of marshalling can be quite bad. So in that kind of regard of marshalling, I have had experience in good marshalling and bad marshalling, and in Airsoft, I feel like I've had a similar kind of experiences as well, regards to good marshals and not so good marshals. Like I said before, I've never actually marshaled in Airsoft, so I feel like my experience is quite limited, but I feel like potentially I may have been spoiled by good marshals, which has then made me, like, I don't know, not like critical, but ultra aware of the ability of marshals at other sites around the place. So for example, I used to play at Invicta Battlefield a ton. It's a really good site. The guys that run it are awesome. The marshal team are awesome, and there's a really nice community built around it as well. I really need to get back there again. I've been focused on like trying to play a lot of different sites around the place because I used to just like grind playing there. So yeah, I need to come back to you. Invicta, I'm coming back. But their marshal team is just like incredibly on point. They're all knowledgeable of the site, like know that place like inside and out, and a lot of them actually spend their time building the site as well, like making new places, changing the terrain to make it, you know, more fun and interesting for us players. They're just really friendly. They're super knowledgeable on like safety, making sure that everybody is in the right place at the right time, where the game is going to be played out, where the spawns are going to be, where the objectives are. So if you ask them any questions at all, any of the marshals there, you're going to be, you know, pretty much taken care of straight away. Another site that I found the marshalling to be really good was Driverwood. I've only played there once, but one thing that I had there, which was quite a new experience for me, was every time you like called hit or somebody called hit if a marshal was near them, they would call out like good call, and they would kind of like make you feel good about the fact that you called that you were hit, which then made it more like, I don't know, it made you feel less bad for getting hit and then calling hit, because they were saying to you, thank you, well done, you know, good call. And that was just like a really lovely positive environment to be around, and that's the kind of environment I like to be in when I'm playing Airsoft, not one where people are just angrily shouting at each other like to call hits and whatnot, especially when there's marshals stood right there. And I guess that's actually a bit of a peeve that I had recently. I was playing at this site and there was like this little kind of like shed in front of me, and I was going from the back to the front of the shed to get different angles and start taking people out, and then all of a sudden this grenade landed in front of me in front of the shed. So I was like, I don't want to get blown up today, son. So I ran back around the back of the shed, waited for it to blow up, took out, you know, was doing some more shooting, and then went around the front again and started doing some more shots. And then not too long after that, another grenade came over the top. So I was like, oh, I'm going to go away from that one now as well. So I just like decided to go back to the other side of the shed. A grenade goes off behind hard cover. No deaths going for me today. Actually, there was a marshal. Important information. There was a marshal not too far away. And the first time he shouted no kills. And the second time he didn't shout no kills. But there was 100% hard cover between me and that, because I saw it, walked behind the shed, everything is okay in that regard. Anyway, we carry on playing, and probably about 10-20 seconds after the second grenade goes off, I get shot on my noodle. So I put my hand up and go, hit, good shot, and I start walking, and a person shouts out, oh, so you take BBs, but you don't take grenades. And I was a little bit like, if he saw it from my perspective, he would have 100% seen that I was like miles away and there was hard cover in between him and me. So I shouted back, the grenade didn't hit me, I was behind hard cover. And then he shouted out something as well, like again, like, yeah, whatever, just take it next time. So then I turned to the marshal and I said to the marshal, can you go and tell him that the grenades didn't hit me, please? And he just stood there and he kind of like looked at me and like did that. And then as I walked off, I turned around and the marshal didn't go anywhere. He just stood on his little spot, just kind of like watching. And I was a little bit like, that's a little bit frustrating. And I feel like, and the reason why I find that's frustrating is because that guy is now like angry at me for not calling a hit from a grenade. I'm angry at that guy for having a go at me for not calling a hit from a grenade, which I was 100% not in like view of. And now I'm kind of annoyed at the marshal for not walking the 15 meters to the guy just to say, just so you know, he didn't get hit by the grenade. He was behind hard cover. Because if he did that, then I'd be like, cool. I'm happy now because those guys know that I didn't get hit by the grenade. And then the guys behind the bushes who threw the grenade, they'd be happy now because they'd be like, oh, whoops, like he didn't get hit by us, so I don't have to be mad at him for not taking the hit anymore. But instead, they're now mad at me about something which they don't need to be mad about. And this was fully within the power of the marshal to fix the situation. And I requested he do it, but then he just didn't do anything. And I was a little bit like, come on, dude. Please, it's like a big deal. And I guess like maybe it comes down to like, you know, it may be experience of the marshal. Maybe they don't really play a lot of like Airsoft or paintball, and like they don't really know how frustrating that can be. Because don't get me wrong, if you throw a grenade near somebody and they don't call it, it's really frustrating. And like so much so that if I see somebody get hit by a grenade and they don't realize it, I'll just say to them, hey dude, that grenade killed you, by the way. And all the time they always go, I don't think so, I was super far away from it. But if you pace it out 100%, they always get killed. But anyway, that to the side, it was just something which I felt like was, you know, a situation which could have been vastly improved by the marshal just kind of walking over and just saying, hey dude, it's okay, he didn't actually get hit by the grenade. I feel like everyone would have been happier. I don't know, maybe I'm expecting too much. But then again, I know that at Invicta, if that was the case and if somebody like shouted out about somebody getting hit by a grenade and they're literally there watching the whole thing, they'd go up to the shouters and they just let them know that the person didn't get hit, because that's the easiest way to make sure everybody carries on having a fun day. So yeah, I don't know, maybe I have just been spoiled by like good marshals, but yeah, what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Do you think it's like the marshal's responsibility or duty or as part of their role to, if they witness an event like I've just described, to go over and like say that? Or do you think it's more just like, I don't know, not their job and people just have to live with that? Let me know in the comments. I'm very curious, but yeah, ultimately, you should go and play at Invicta because it's very good. And from what I've experienced at Driverwood, they have a very positive marshal team as well. So yeah, recommend both of those sites. Go enjoy them. Go have fun and enjoy them. Just like all of my patrons have fun enjoying my videos. Thank you very much to all of my lovely patrons for supporting the channel month on month. We will be doing another monthly giveaway in a month's time, and all of the Patreon patches for this month are getting made up as we speak and will get sent out as soon as possible. So yeah, huge shout out to all my patrons. Also, huge shout out to the community Discord. If you'd like to make some Airsoft friends, click the link in the description below, head on over and make yourself some Airsoft friends, because there's wonderful people in there. Also, check out Project Airsoft too, because there's lots of cool stuff on the website, and you know, you're probably going to really like them. So yeah, enjoy. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. Remember to call your hits, and I'll see you in the next one.